Big exciting news to start your evening as Mitch McConnell's job is in trouble. But that means big stimulus, enormous stimulus could be coming to you. One, an increase of Social Security and SSI and SSDI benefits 20%, up to 20% a lifetime. Second, an annual increase based upon a new benchmark. Third, an emergency SSI, SSDI stimulus check coming just to SSI recipients of upwards of $2,600. Third, multiple stimulus checks for everyone. Big, large, not $1,200. Then EIDL grants $10,000. Next, the remainder of your $10,000 EIDL grant. How about hazard pay? Hazard pay back on, but at $10,000. Lifeline grants $50,000. Rent aid, eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, student loan rent payment. Even they can't keep track of all the flavors of the calcino. There's just so much going on that even sirloin is about to tip over. Hey, good evening, everybody. It's LALATE, and boy, what an exciting, great night. Everything is breaking just minutes ago, and if you saw it sort of percolating throughout the day, well, now it's hitting like a big cappuccino moco grande. So, thank you for tuning in for Evenings LALATE. It's a great night, and this is Check. Also tonight on Evenings LALATE is Purple Power Live. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do go to this channel and subscribe, because no one is keeping you up to date by the minute on the twists and turns about your stimulus, second stimulus, your third stimulus, and the unstimulating congressman. Oh, boy. Also like this video because we're doing really well in the rankings. It helps in the algorithm the more you like the video, so please like this video. In this video, I'll explain to you why tonight, just in the last few minutes, everything has really changed, and why big, bold, beautiful stimulus coming to you, coming is just making everyone so excited. And I don't mean watered down $500 stimulus checks from someone who has a bad hairstyle. It's a great night. So let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that the Joe Biden plan that gives you big, bold, beautiful stimulus, and lots of it, not contradictory, you would get all of these and above, is coming and could be coming sooner, more large, more bold than ever thought of this channel even hours earlier, because of one state. Yes. It has literally been the state of national attention all in the last 4 hours, and certainly of this channel, and that's the state of Georgia. What's going on, LALATE? Let me explain. The Senate, before election night, was controlled by the Republicans. The Senate, after election night, was presumed to be controlled by the Republicans. Mitch McConnell got reelected. But then came Georgia. I had talked about Georgia before election night, and I said, I hope this doesn't turn down to a big Georgia twist at the 11th hour. And I predicted this as one of the possible toss-ups, and now it's not a toss-up. Now it's the actual reality. What happened is that 2 Senate seats of the entire Senate are outstanding. And what are those 2 Senate seats? They're both in Georgia. Well, why are they still not determined? Because Georgia has a rule that you have to win by at least 50%, and if you don't, then they do a second vote. The people go back into the polling precincts, and they vote again, and they vote on January 5th. 2 Senate seats. If they both go Democratic, Mitch McConnell is no longer the majority leader. And Mitch McConnell's attempts to give you small, watered-down stimulus are gone. The Democrats will have taken the Senate, and everything that Joe Biden wants you to have will be passed. In this record, I'm going to go over why this is absolutely jaw-dropping great news. As one person said in one of the comments of the videos minutes before, we got to get those Georgia seats. You got to get those Georgia seats for the sake of stimulus. This is insane. Let me explain. First, hashtag MSC, multiple stimulus checks, big, bold, beautiful stimulus checks, and I don't mean $500. Everyone would get a stimulus check, and they would continue to get stimulus checks until they're out of this pandemic. $2,000 a month for 6 months until the pandemic goes away or unemployment goes down, and could be even more. CARES Act 1 money unused could be repurposed for an additional standalone stimulus check right now. That would be $5,000, and then they could follow it up with more stimulus checks. Joe Biden has says he will give you stimulus checks as often as so warranted until we're out of this pandemic, which is not until middle of next year. The VP-elect Harris says that, hey, $2,000 a month for 6 months, $1,200 isn't cut it. We need to give a check every month to millions of Americans. Well, that seems to be the language of Joe Biden because he's talking about multiple checks and he's talking about multiple bills. Incredible. Stimulus checks coming and big and beautiful. Next, hazard pay. $10,000? Yes. $10,000? Yes. $10,000? Yes. Hazard pay would no longer be a watered-down $500, $200, $400 little thing that Mitch wants to drop for you that we fight and we fight and we fight, or the Temple Doom takes it out and puts it back in. No. $10,000 would be landing in your bank account for hazard pay. This is incredible, great news. You've been fighting for it. I've been fighting for it. I'm the only one in this entire universe who has recorded a video about hazard pay every single day since about May. I mean, who has recorded so many hours about hazard pay than me? And this is incredible, great news. My Uber and Lyft driver, $10,000. My Grubhub driver, $10,000. Nurse, $10,000. It's just incredible. If you don't turn into Purple Power Live every night, please do. We talk about hazard pay. We talk about essential workers. And now I'm going to say $10,000 because if you have the number of hours calculated times $13 an hour, that's yours under a Biden administration and 2 Georgia Democratic seats. It's incredible. It's incredible. The only case in which you wouldn't get it is if you made a lot of money last year. Then you only get $5,000. Wow. PUA extended. FPUC extended. UI extended. FPUC extended. Oh my goodness. What amount? $600 a week. Yes, $600 a week. Retroactive? Yes, retroactive to late July. Now, ultimately, Purple Power, we can't roll over. We can't just sort of sit out with our hands out like this and say, okay, where's my retroactive? I'm always worried that elected officials forget the word retroactive or do retroactive like 2 days. We'll go back 2 days. No, FPUC expired in July. Well, this is August, September, October, November, December. Okay, that's 5 months. 5 months times 4 weeks in the month. Okay, that's 20 weeks. 20 weeks times $600 a week. What? 20 weeks times $600 a week. Isn't that $12,000? Yes, it is. Check that one off. That would be coming to you as well. Boy, it keeps on getting better and more beautiful. Rent aid, yes, your rent aid would be paid. Second, you would not be evicted. Mortgage eviction protection, mortgage forbearance. How about student loan debt repayment forgiven? Yes, that's also on place. Oh, and I haven't talked about SSI. Let's get to it at the 8-minute mark. Not 1. Not 2, but not 3. And behind curtain number 1. 3 incredible things as I drop half of the things on the set about SSI. I'm so excited. First, an emergency SSI payment that would be added right to your normal benefits. And when I say SSI, I mean SSDI, SSI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, all of you, not only just SSI. And this would be $200 per month until the pandemic goes away, but at least to 12/31/2021. New Year's Eve next year, not New Year's Eve this year. Incredible. That would be at least about $2,400, $2,600. Absolutely incredible. That's the first emergency check. Then there would be lifetime increases of upwards of 20%. The Biden administration is proposing SSI increases up to 20% per month a lifetime. And then there's more. And then there's more. You get a side of Ginsu knives. And then there's more. An additional increase of SSI and SSDI beneficiaries' benefits based upon a new index, not cost of living. As Pete DeFazio, the representative from Oregon, the Democrat, said, hey, why are we doing COLA? COLA doesn't give us anything. Social Security checks for next year expected to increase by 1 cent or some, ridiculous thing. He said this is absurd. You got to increase this money. Is there anything I left out? It just seems so overwhelming, and I'm trying to get it all done in one recording. Boy. I mean, over the weekend, Joe Biden explained this importance. He said that the Social Security needs to be done. Eligible workers who would get a guaranteed minimum benefit equal to at least 125% of the federal poverty level, people who receive benefits for at least 20 years, would get a 5% bump, but those widowers would get about 20% more for Social Security. Incredible. Then we turn to his transition statements. His transition statement says, hey, we can't just keep on paying just a few people here and a few people there. He wants to, one, provide additional checks to families as should conditions require. Those words incredible. Additional checks so conditions require. As someone said, who determines that? Well, he does. With his medical officials, basically. The pandemic continuing, more stimulus checks. Not one check, not $500 here and there. Additional checks for families should conditions require. That's hashtag MSC. Next, forgive a minimum of $10,000 per person of federal student loan debts. Young people and other debt holders bore the brunt of the last crisis. It shouldn't happen again. Incredible. Increase monthly Social Security checks by $200 a month. Seniors and people with disabilities are uniquely at risk right now. Additional, this is something I don't talk about a lot, provide emergency paid sick leave to everyone who needs it with no one left out. That's wonderful. They should include workers in all industry sectors regardless of company size, gig workers, domestic workers, contractors, and self-employed. Next, ensure that no one has to pay $1 out of pocket for COVID testing vaccine. Additionally, provide all necessary fiscal relief to states so that the workers and communities get the need they need, especially the frontliners in New York. What's incredibly important about that, and a little bit confusing, is that you make it also hazard pay if you are a public servant under the federal payments to state and local. Oh my goodness. His representative overnight also said that we could pay for all of this before we go on lockdown. So more stimulus on top of everything I just talked about. We could pay for a stimulus package right now to cover all the lost wages of individual workers for losses to small communities, medium-sized companies, city and state and local government. We could do all of that. If we did that, we would go on lockdown for 4 to 6 weeks and get it done. Oh my God. Then hazard pay. It just keeps on going. Senator Warren has said the following about Social Security. She said, we're pushing to increase in Congress a next stimulus package of a $200 increase in the monthly benefit for all Social Security veterans and supplemental income beneficiaries through the end of 2021. This will put about $4,000 in the pocket of seniors and people with disabilities. Just incredible. And they've done this before. Increase in Social Security benefits is the quickest and easiest way to get money out the door during an economic crisis. Congress has done this before. The beneficiaries of Social Security and SSI received a one-time $250 benefit after the 2018 crisis. And hazard pay. Who are my frontline workers? They are first responders, healthcare, groceries, restaurants, food production, transportation, warehouses, cleaning and maintenance, waste disposal, news media, government employees, education, laundry, elections, hazardous materials, disinfecting services, clinical research, mortuary, physical therapy, dentistry, USPS, and COVID mitigation treatment, and energy, communication, information technology, critical manufacturing, financial services, defense, industrial base, commercial facilities, residential shelter facilities, and hygiene products and services. And more could be included. The Biden plan proposes to have as many people covered as possible. The maximum payoff for workers who would be $10,000. For employees who are more highly paid, the maximum payout would be $5,000. This is incredible, great news. As Mitch McConnell said a week ago today, I gather the Democratic leader and the Senate are still looking at something dramatically larger. That's not a place that I think we're willing to go. I do think it needs to be important. We need to do something that's a little bit more appropriate. Well, a week ago, he said his first item of business was sending out a stimulus bill. Did you see it? I didn't see it. So when people go to the polls in Georgia, if you're going to the polls in Georgia, remember that Mitch McConnell said you're going to get a stimulus package right away on Monday this week. Well, it's Friday. We know it's saw it. But if you're a Democrat, then Mitch McConnell will no longer be the majority leader of the Senate, and all this big, bold, beautiful stimulus, oh my God, will be coming to you. Now, finally, people ask me, well, that's all ask me questions. That's all January. First of all, Mitch McConnell could certainly bite the bullet and say, I don't want to lose Senate seats. I can't just do nothing between now and January 5th. I have to do something and ensure it gets passed, ensure people get some money. And so ultimately, that's what he should do if he intends to keep his seats. If he doesn't care about, even losing his job, maybe he doesn't care about that either. Doesn't care about you, maybe doesn't care about his job, then maybe he just wings it. But if he cares about his job, then ultimately he would have to get stimulus package approved right now and get it out and get the money in your hands. And the way he would do it is a stimulus check, which he has sort of run from before. So this is the time and place for him to step up. Or the people of Georgia will understand it might be time to flip the Senate. If you have questions or comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below. I might answer them tomorrow's recording. Coming up tomorrow morning is Early Mornings Live. It's going to be early mornings, not live. Early mornings, and it will be a very lively, is what I meant to say. And followed by that is Mornings LA at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.